Come on up in here, man. What's going on with y'all, man? Top Flight TV, Mr. Top Flight Films, Big Flight. What's going on, man? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. This particular video, we are going to talk about Donald Trump, and we're asking the question: did he share that racist meme of the Obamas? And we're also going to talk about Glorilla's sister, and we're going to break that down. That's a real deep conversation. Well, it's not really deep, but it's something that I think everybody we should talk about it because a lot of people are mistaken. Let's just say that. Um, Donald Trump. They said Donald Trump posted a meme of the Obamas looking like monkeys or some shit. I don't know. It was a racist meme. Let's talk about it. A lot of people are outraged. I'm going to use it as I'm going to use this situation as proof as to why people like myself, we're not really tripping off of it. The reason why I'm not mad at it. Why am I not mad at it or surprised? Because we know what people such as him do. I mean, listen, just, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I'm very anti-democrat, right? And a lot of people equate that to being pro-Republican. Now, a friend of my, enemy of my enemy is my friend. You understand? And that's just in a nutshell. Um, we've known Donald Trump, you know, is a racist. Let's be real. He's giving props to foundational Black Americans. But let's not be mistaken. We know that Donald Trump is racist. We've always known that. You understand? We've always known this. We know that a lot of the Democrats are racist. You know what I mean? Like a lot of black folks is running around here. Whoa, I hate Donald Trump. Oh, why did he do this, motherfucker? This is what a dog barks. Okay, a dog is supposed to bark. A lot of people like myself, we already know what is going on out here. We know who is who and what is what. You understand? And at some point, you really want to stop saying, "Oh well, man, shit, they racist, they racist." No shit, no shit. We already know these things. We know most Republicans, most people who um, share the ideology of MAGA, most of them are racist, and they practice racism. We know this. We've always known this. But on the flip side, the Democrats practice racism just as much, if not more. See, the Democrats, they practice a more covert, insidious racism. You understand? So I'm saying reports. I'm just saying reports. I'm not saying what is what, but I'm saying reports that they're saying Donald Trump didn't post it. It was posted on accident. Okay? On accident. This is just what they saying. If you're familiar with my channel, I don't trust any of these people. I don't believe anything I see for the most part coming through these headlines. The original clapper, what it do, homie? I don't trust none of this shit. So I don't take none of this as law. You know what I'm saying? When I see a report come out, man, listen, I don't trust none of this shit, bro. So I take it at face value. Do I believe Donald Trump is capable of posting something like that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I believe that Donald Trump hired a bunch of white supremacists? Absolutely. This is what he did when he got in there. His media team, they're obviously young people. If you have not been keeping up, a lot of the music that they use for their videos from the White House, I'm talking about official White House videos, you can tell they're being I'm gonna try to say this word, procured by young people. I'm a videographer, I'm an editor. I do content. So I know that whoever's running their page, whoever's doing their marketing, they're younger and they have that white supremacist swag. Let's just be real, okay? So am I surprised that this meme came out with the Obamas on it? No, I'm not surprised. Welcome, welcome. I'm actually kind of glad um, that this is going on. All this shit. I'm glad all this shit is going on because everybody is upset and everybody is woke. You did? Because the last 4 years when Joe Biden was in office, everybody was asleep. So I'm actually kind of happy that uh, Donald Trump came and woke people up. Now people are talking about injustices. Now people are talking about oppression. Okay, when Biden was in office, everybody, all these liberals acted like it was just heaven on earth. See, a lot of these liberals are just mad at Donald Trump. Let's just be real, man. You dig? Let's see what these comments are saying. We got Miss Pamela in here, and Miss Pamela says, "I would rather have the racism to my face, Republicans, than behind my back, Democrats, so I can move accordingly." Miss Pamela, thank you for that comment, and I totally agree. I would rather, and that's where a lot of black folks are confused. They are confused, all right? They get confused. When the Democrats are in office, they get rocked right to sleep. You understand? So I'm glad that, everybody is getting a rude awakening, right? They've talked about Project 2025, the Democrats, and I saw Charleston White. That brother can be brilliant sometimes. But Charleston White said something that was profound. He said they warned us about 2025, but they didn't do nothing about it, right? They knew about this 2025, and I've been speaking on this for a minute. They talked about this Project 2025. They tried to scare us into voting for them, but they refused to listen to the people and give the people what they want. They said, if you don't vote for what we want, our weird little agenda, if you don't vote for our weird little agenda, you're going to get stuck with Project 2025. You dig? They didn't say, hey, what can I do for the constituents that have been voting for me for 60 years? What can I do for y'all to earn your vote? They didn't tell y'all that, did they? I also want to ask a question to all the black Democrats that are still out there voting Democrat. They're so mad with Donald Trump. Let me ask y'all a question. And I want you to go do the research after I ask you the question. How far have black people come in the past 50 years on paper? How far have we came? How much advancement on paper? I'm talking about the wealth gap economically. How far have we came on paper in the past 50 years? I want you to go do your research because it's very, it is a very sobering thing when you realize, like Dr. Claude Anderson used to say, we haven't moved one iota. Dr. Claude Anderson said, we haven't moved one iota since slavery. I'm not talking about what Oprah has. I'm not talking about what Jay-Z and P. Diddy has. See, that's what they'll tell you. They'll be like, well, you guys have black millionaires. We're not talking about none of that shit. We're talking about as a group. How far, if you go look and you're being honest with yourself, if you go look at the research, okay? Go look at the research. Black folks, black Americans are at the bottom of the bottom. Why is that? We've been voting Democrat for 50 years. Why are we still at, they had plenty of time to do something for its most loyal voter base. Why haven't they done anything? Listen, man, if y'all really think about that, I want y'all to really think about that for a minute. Why haven't black folks progressed in the past 50 years? What has the Democrat Party done to, and we are, look, a lot of you Democratic slaves are going to say, well, what has Trump done? What has the Republicans have done? Nothing. But we have not been guilted into voting for the Republicans. We've been very loyal to the Democrats. You understand? I'm going to get to the comments in a minute. But I want y'all to go look at that. I'm not talking about basketball players. I'm not talking about rappers and millionaires. Sure, Dr. Claude Anderson also told us, sure, there are going to be some rich individuals in our community. We're not talking about that. We're talking about why every other ethnic group is above us, and we've been here since the foundation. We built the foundation. We built the foundation. Why is every other ethnic group ahead of us? Okay. Um, yeah, so big shout out to everybody in the building. We're gonna talk about Glorilla's sister and the entitlement. But if y'all want to touch on Donald Trump and you want to chime in on, the racist shit that came from his office, because make no mistake, whether Donald Trump posted that or not, he's responsible. That came from his desk. That came from his office. You understand? So there's no, oh, I didn't mean it. We didn't know. That's what they're trying to pull. They're trying to pull, well, it was an accident or it was a mistake or something like that. Let me get to these comments real quick. Carpet Fire says, you're sitting here, free man, whining. Pretty sure we're all equal. I was born into a poor family and we're all equal. Okay, Carpet Fire. Listen, that was a very unintelligent comment. Very unintelligent. Okay? That was an emotional comment. And we don't do emotions over here. Okay? We do facts, we do numbers. Okay? So, miss me with the emotions, sir. All right? Sorry you grew up in a poor family. I didn't grow up in a poor family. See, this is where it gets sticky, because every time we had this conversation, it's always a cat saying, well, I didn't have anything growing up. How do I have privilege? Or why are you out? Listen, I didn't grow up in a poor family. I'm talking about my people as a whole, black people, black Americans. You understand? So miss me with the whole, I didn't have shit. You dig? I'm not about to argue or point out, what's going on here in America and what black Americans have went through and are still going through. It is well documented. I'm not talking about your little feelings. I'm talking about numbers. Go look it up. Go look up who's at the bottom of the economy here in America. Go look it up. Okay? I know. Miss Pamela said, why are these white men whining about these days? Yeah, let's be real. Let's be real, right? Let's be real. Bill Stash, shout out to you. Uh, it goes the fatherless home thing. See, these guys are so predictable. Like, they're like elementary school kids. But Miss Pamela brought up something very interesting. The white man is whining. Okay, the white man is now oppressed. Are y'all saying the white guys running around here saying they oppressed? Even Donald Trump says things like they're oppressed, right? They're being picked on. They're the most judged. They're the most whatever. And like, come on, like they're delusional. All right, delusional. John Briggs says, so we are so fortunate to have President Trump. Glenn Benton is laughing and no, this is very real, sir. This is very real. This is a real thing. Bill Stan says, no, fatherlessness is a cop out so they don't feel guilty. Yeah, we know the trope. We know the coping tactics that these people have. They always come up with the coping. The Charlie Kirk. We need to give them a name. We're gonna call them the Charlie Kirk coping tactics. You dig? That's all they are. They the Charlie Kirk coping tactics. Steve says, when Obama is arrested, please remain calm. Listen, This is what you need to know about me, Steve. I don't give two shits about Obama. Okay? I don't give a shit about Obama. But I will not sit here and co-sign that racist shit that popped up on Truth Social that came from the White House. I won't co-sign that no matter who I don't like. You got that? I don't care about Obama. Obama is a traitor. Okay, he's a traitor to the black Americans. And the reason why he's a traitor is because back in 2008 through 2012, when young black men were getting gunned down, they were unarmed, they were getting shot by police. Obama signed the Blue Alert Law. He didn't protect the citizens, he protected the police. So he'll always be a traitor in my eyes. So make no mistake, you can try to, say things like, when Obama's arrested, stay calm, as if that's supposed to affect me. Try again, buddy. Y'all got to do better, man. You dig? Bill Stan says, when Obama gets arrested, I will lose it. Hey, man, to each his own, man. Lisak, what's up? Yeah, Obama, he did us dirty, man. He did us dirty. And let me tell you, I got Obama's inauguration date tatted on my arm. You understand? I was very proud of Obama. I was proud of the Obamas. That's when I wasn't really, I wasn't, I was a little younger, and I was about the symbolism. The symbolism was good enough for me back then. Just seeing a black family in the White House, it was good enough for me back then. You understand? As time went on and bodies started dropping, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Mike Brown, the list goes on. After that, it was like, man, like this dude didn't do anything. He left us hanging, you dig? I want to move on to Glorilla. And this is a lesson for everybody. This is not just about a rapper named Glorilla, but this is a lesson for any and everybody. There's a rapper named Glorilla, and she's appearing to do very well as far as her career. She signed to CMG, which is Yo Gotti's record label, and she has some pretty big records. She's been out for maybe 3 or 4 years. Well, recently, Glorilla's sister, younger sister, popped up on Instagram yesterday, the day before, something like that. Gorilla's sister popped up, and it has been on all kind of different platforms, basically bashing her sister because the sister, Glorilla, hasn't taken care of the family. Okay? Now, I want to break that down, man. I want to talk about the expectation when a family member gets rich. Okay? When a family member gets rich, automatically, I think people assume people who don't deal with money, people who don't deal with business, they don't understand. Okay? Just because I have $1 million today doesn't mean that you should be a millionaire. A lot of people don't get that. See, the average mind will say, oh, my sister, she has, let's say Glorilla is worth 5 million, 2 million liquid. She has 10 siblings. Glorilla has 10 siblings and 2 parents. The little sister is acting like Glorilla is supposed to take care of everybody. I want you to do the math. Each sibling wants a Mercedes Benz, right? Let's just say they want a Mercedes Benz, or let's just say they want a house. Each sibling wants a house. 200,000 per house. You do the math on that, okay? People don't understand, even with these record labels with like Diddy, they be like, Diddy, he did bad business with people. Diddy took people's money. People automatically assume just because somebody in your family is rich, somebody in your immediate circle is rich, that you're supposed to be rich too. And that's just not the way it works. You have to work to accumulate riches. Okay? If your friend is rich and you think that that friend owes you money, and then say they give you the money, sooner or later that friend will not be rich anymore. Money goes, man. Money goes real quick. You understand? So, especially as you go up the ladder, see, I saw people talking about I saw Oskino. Oskino was talking about Dame. Who was he talking about? Dame Dash. He was talking about somebody with 100 million. And what these people don't understand is, as you get money, you start going to different places. You start eating at different restaurants. You start seeing a different lifestyle. That yacht, those, see, you might be worth 20 million, right? But when you go on vacation, some of your colleagues and associates, they're going on their yacht that's worth 100 million. So your little 20 million doesn't look or feel like 20 million no more. So your mindset is, shit, I gotta get 100 million. I need more money. That 20 million ain't shit, bro. Glorilla's sister is probably worth $1,500. She thinks 20 million is a lot. It is a lot. But as you get more money, you know, you want to reach different plateaus. Jay-Z and Beyonce, the average mind would ask themselves, why are they still working so hard? Why is Jay-Z and Beyonce still touring and coming up with businesses? Why? Well, number one, you got to keep the empire flowing. You got to keep the empire going. And number two, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're around some of the richest people in the world. They want to do some of the things that the richest people in the world are doing. They want to have a jet. Okay? They want to have a yacht. Okay? What rapper do you know with a yacht? Somebody answer that question. I'm talking about a 100-foot yacht, 200-foot yacht. What rapper do you know with a yacht? Khaled probably has a yacht. What rapper? You don't see any rappers flexing on their yacht, on their yacht that they own, do you? Nope. Because it's different, man. As the money goes up, there's different levels to success. That's why I'm very comfortable in my position. I don't want to say I'm comfortable, but I'm content. I like where I'm at. I don't require much. I don't need a yacht. I would love to have a yacht. I don't require much. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy with what I have, and I strive for more. So yeah, man, I just wanted to drop that off with the Glorilla thing. Uh, and I wanted to, tie that into like the record label. Because people always give these record executives a hard time. Yeah, some of these record executives, they stole money, right? But a record deal is just a loan. They loan you money. And if you don't recoup, you're asked out. If you don't sell, if you're not a superstar, you're asked out. You dig? That's just the way it goes. Let's get to some of these comments, man. Jeffrey Hassel says, Gene Dixon said Trump will be gone by November. Oh, that's interesting. What do y'all think is going to happen when Donald Trump gets, what's the word? What do y'all think is going to happen if Donald Trump gets kicked out the White House? Do y'all think it's going to be civil war? I believe that it's going to be civil war. I believe that some of these crazy MAGA people, because make no mistake about it, when and if the Democrats get back in office, they're going to do the same thing Donald Trump is doing right now. they're gonna show their ass. They're gonna get revenge. At what point will America say, you know what, let's call a truce? Let's stop this nonsense. See, this country is going to hell dealing with both of these parties. Both of these people are, both sets of people are sick individuals. You understand? Both sets of people are petty individuals, and they're going to get us all in hot water. At some point, somebody needs to stand up and say, you know what? Let's stop this nonsense. Let's get together. One common bond, putting America first. These weird ass Democrats are dedicating their life to immigration. This shit is weird. It makes no sense. Nobody should be happy about that. The only people that are running around happy go lucky about this are people who don't own homes, people who don't have kids, the little weird fuckers that are out protesting and getting ran over by cars and shit. Trust me, I've been on the front line of some of these protests, and I know who's out there, and I know why they're out there. Not everybody out there is protesting for the same cause. Salty Dog said, imagine advocating for a party trying to replace you with illegal immigrants. That's crazy. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I touched on the Grammys yesterday. The Grammys was so weird. Everybody was talking about immigration. Shout out to all the immigrants. I don't have anything personal with the immigrants. It was a guy that did he did a skit, y'all. This was the funniest skit. It's a white dude. He did a skit like mocking Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish said, nobody's illegal on stolen land, right? I used to say the same shit until I grew up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So what this white dude did, I guess he's an influencer content creator. This is what he did. He went to Billie Eilish's house. Go look this up. The influencer went to Billie Eilish's house. He was filming, and he's knocking on her door. He said, hey, well, I'm here. We should be able to come into your home. We should be able to come onto your property and get into your pool and take advantage of the amenities at your home because nobody's illegal on stolen land. You're on stolen land, so we should be able to come into your house. And that's how stupid these people sound, man. You know, another thing is, there's not any piece of this earth that hasn't been stolen. Okay? Everywhere, a lot of these places are stolen. You understand? So with that type of logic, they try to make it seem like it was just America that was stolen. You dig? And that's not the case. Salty Dog said, I went from being a Democrat to Republican to nationalist. Okay, I can dig that. Bill Stan said, in defense of Billy, she is very, very young. Yeah, look, she means well. We all have to grow, man. We all have to learn and grow up to form our own opinions. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand that. But it's being fueled. This whole narrative is being fueled, and it's an agenda. There's an agenda on both sides of the aisle. You understand? And none of these agendas, I believe, are totally American first. You know what I'm saying? Shit could be a lot more simpler. Why are these people out there protesting for immigration? We could be protesting to eliminate taxes on our houses. We can be out there protesting some real shit. Let's get ourselves together first, and then maybe we'll talk about the whole immigration shit. You dig? Red or Dead said, read my comment. Where's your comment, homie? Red or Dead said, what did he say? I don't see your comment, brother. I don't see your comment. Bill Stan said, I'm 70, trying to grow every day. Yeah, man, we never stop learning, man. Big Low said, I said the same thing to the judge when I was 18. He still gave me time. Yeah, people say dumb shit like only God can judge me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. You gotta understand, man. We can talk that talk, but reality is real. You know what I'm saying? Empty slogans mean nothing. You dig? Big Low, shout out to you. I just wanted to tap in with y'all, get that off, man. Talk about this whole Trump thing and this whole Glorilla sister situation. Timothy Arnold said, "Young people very ignorant now, worst generation ever." I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. This ain't nothing like the '90s, y'all. There's nothing like the '90s. I'm just keeping it a buck, man. Like I've been on a '90s kick, the '90s music kick, real heavy for the past month. It's nothing like the '90s, dog. That was a special time right there. You know what I'm saying? Very special. No internet. A lot of shit was just new. You know what I'm saying? Like Cool Ranch Doritos, clear Pepsi. We were happy to have new drinks and new shit. Like that was a big deal in the '90s. Like a new snack came out, a new chip came out. They got Cool Ranch Doritos. I remember the first time I put a Cool Ranch Dorito. I put a Cool Ranch Dorito in my mouth. Nigga, brother, the taste of that Cool Ranch Dorito, bro. What? The '90s was different, dog. The '90s was different. Spotty Dog, Salty Dog, said he was raised in the '70s. Yeah, man. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. I'll be back maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow sometime. I gotta get some work done. I'm out. Peace.